Hollers, some of our friends bought this acreage near us, and they're gutting a single wide trailer. Today we're showing up to help out. Big project, tearing off the siding today and putting up foam board insulation and house wrap. We got here late, so we are basically putting up foam board as soon as we got here, pounding nails. Spirits are pretty high. It's getting hot out here though. It's supposed to hit above 90. That feels hot for us. I know some of y'all laugh at that. Probably laugh hard. A question I want to ask today is it worth it? Is it worth it to do the crazy stuff we do? And I've asked myself that about my own life. Because I'll tell you, especially in the past 6 months, I've thought so many times, you know, it would be easier if we'd taken our money and our credit and put it in on a house with a little yard, a house that needs almost no maintenance. So it's a legitimate question to ask if you're thinking about getting into this. And we're gonna ask that today. Is it worth it to live in a really rural area or do a project like this? Okay, I think all the foam board's up basically everywhere except for like just a couple little spots. But we're gonna eat lunch now.
Green beans. Alright. You don't want that. She's like, so then, you know, they can.
I'm gonna go get the shot you just got.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of surreal in here, this green glow through this foam board. And it makes me think this might come in handy for the Hollers because, you know, isn't green light supposed to be very calming? In here you're surrounded with it for now until the siding goes up. How do you feel about the progress we made today?
I'm ecstatic.
Good.
This would have taken me 2 weeks. We just did it in 2 days. Like what we got done today is amazing. I'm
Awesome.
so stoked.
What about overall progress and like, are y'all keeping your heads up? I mean, are y'all managing your stress?
Are we overwhelmed?
Yeah.
We're a little bit overwhelmed, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
We're nice thing about living out here and kind of choosing what we get to work on. If we need to just take a down day, we can take a down day. So I suppose the problem with that is you end up taking too many down days and you don't get anything done. But
you got to do it.
We've maintained a pretty crazy pace
Yeah.
since we've been here. This is our 2-month mark.
Yeah.
And like stuff like today.
Yeah.
Having everybody here, having all the help, it's like, oh my gosh, we've gotten so much done. And we're going to be waterproof in about 30 minutes.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a huge step. What do you think for you all keeps you moving forward when you are tempted to just be discouraged? Or I mean, so like when I look at what you're doing here, there's many people who've done stuff like this, but you're in like the maybe 5th percentile or 95th percentile of like a little bit crazy towards a goal.
How do we keep from being discouraged?
Yeah.
I think because this is like truly and utterly ours.
Yeah.
So even though, you know, it's a mobile home, like it is what it is, it's our mobile home.
Yeah.
And we're just ecstatic. Like the sooner we get this done, the sooner we can move out of the RV into this. And this, it doesn't move when somebody, you know, sneezes.
Yeah.
This is an upgrade from where we're at.
Yeah.
It's quadruple the space. So that's how we keep from being discouraged.
I like it. I just I like that a lot, especially with y'all doing this debt free, as far as I know, and that's a huge deal.
It is.
That in some ways that makes you richer than anyone who's living in the subdivision who got the easy house. I've just been thinking about it a lot because we've had some challenges recently, and it's not even necessarily stuff that's shown up on the channel always, but it's like when I don't want to live in the subdivision house, but I've sometimes wondered, like, it would have been so much easier to do that. So I've been kind of revisiting, like, why are we doing this? Like, what are we here for?
What? Honestly, since we've been here, I have had the thoughts, man, it was so much easier moving into a house that didn't have these kind of problems. Granted, when we did it, we did buy the crappiest house we could find in the best neighborhood. Yeah. But it wasn't this bad.
No.
So I have had the thoughts, like, man, suburbia was pretty easy.
But you also had a mortgage too.
We also had a mortgage. We were in debt.
Yeah.
And so looking at this, it's like, yeah.
I like to think that you, even though this is going to be stressful, I like to think that you coming out of this project, like on the backside of the house project, are going to have freedom that you would not have if you had the mortgage. Freedom to pursue businesses on your own, to work less, and then to invest out here or in whatever you want. Honestly, it doesn't have to be out here. It could be whatever you want.
There is a lot more freedom. That's something. When we were in debt, you realize your free time really isn't yours. Yeah. Every minute of every day, you're working on something, and I think realizing what do they call it, the 5 to 9? Yeah. Your 5 to 9 life. Yeah. Realizing that life was so much more important. We I don't know. Priorities. You got to get your priorities straight. Yeah. I think that's what this is. It
makes me think too. It's almost like an insurance policy too, not having that debt, because if something really bad happens, like even me working and having, pretty significant insurance and disability insurance, like even we would not. I don't know if we'd be able to keep our house on my disability insurance. Honestly,
there's an accident that happened. Yeah. And I had a piece of machinery break with me underneath it, and 2 seconds later I would have gotten crushed, and for some reason I just moved and checked something else, and this machine came down. And it makes you realize it's like just in an instant you're gonna lose everything. Yeah, you could lose everything. So, and
I've seen that a lot with people who get disabled. It's like they're not cashing out on some huge life insurance policy. It's like literally their income is just slashed. And then they have all these medical needs. So I've always thought about that. Like, man, I would look forward to the day when we do not have a mortgage. And there's a level of freedom in that I think is really valuable. So.
Right on. Can't thank you guys enough for all this help. I'm stoked.
We're happy to come out and keep inviting us.
We will.
We'll keep coming as we're able, and
we will. We would like to actually have you guys out when we can all like hang out and maybe have a fire or something.
Yeah. That'd be fun. This is fun too, though.
This is fun.
I love it, and it's where you're at right now. So anyway, we're happy to come.
Originally, back there where the pine trees are, we were going to put the greenhouse up against the property line. Yeah. And we decided to make it bigger. Basically, all this dirt right here is going to get scooped out because it's going to be a wall opinion. It's going to be sunken. So probably from about here to where that planter is, that's where we're going to put it.
Oh, that's cool.
Because we were thinking about it. It's like, you know what? I don't want to have to drive around it and take away some of our driveway. So if we put it here, it's fine.
How big is it going to
be? 40 feet by 10, 15 feet.
Oh, cool.
So
I like it.
And then I would like to go every bit of like 10 feet. This is east-west, and the back side would be due north.
Okay, cool. So it would be like completely half buried, basically.
Half buried, yeah. And then the front is going to be ground level.
I love that.
It would be the bottom of that berm right there.
That'd be really cool. We're going to look at an area they've cleared out here in the woods. Is it along the property line that you've cleared out?
Yeah, it's the property line. All this back in here, it's an acre. It goes all the way to the road. That's all our neighbors.
Okay.
We would like to buy that acre. Yeah. But the guy lives nowhere around here, so it's like, all right, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Logged in 2011, I think.
Oh, cool.
So I imagine he had it surveyed then.
Yeah.
This right here is a hole. It's about 2-3 feet deep, and all the water runs into it, and then it just disappears.
That's wild.
So like, I have no idea.
Yeah, I see it running in there. All the currents go that way, huh?
We had so much rain yesterday, it doesn't surprise me it's flowing. Yeah. But
Yes, moving everywhere. I know, I love this. I was down here a few minutes ago, and when I walked up to here, tons of frogs, and they're like running across the top of the water. I was like, I've never seen frogs do that. They're just like, it was unreal. They were literally running on the water, and then
hundreds.
they hit the water.
If you creep down here in the morning, take them by surprise, you'll hear them all, croaking. Just creep down here and then walk around the corner. It's just like an explosion of frogs trying to get away. They're pretty green.
Yeah.
I've caught a couple, me and the kids. They're like this green.
Yeah.
I've never seen a frog that green.
Are they big enough to eat?
Some of them are.
Yeah.
None that I've caught.
I don't know if you want to go wading down here at night though. With a flashlight.
I've seen copperheads down here.
Yeah.
Wow. We're done.
Yeah. Mike, it was good to work with you.
Nice to work with you too,
It
Art.
was super fun. I've actually really enjoyed hanging out with y'all a little bit.
Likewise.
It's a good place to meet and do it.
Yeah, yeah, likewise.
And for a good cause, so.
Can't wait to see you guys in a few weeks in California, right?
Gosh, it's so soon. I know, I feel unprepared.
Yeah, it's coming fast.
I'll be ready.
Here we go. Yeah. What are you guys talking about?
You know, I want to talk about the interactions. I want to talk about the interactions we've had through the internet in relation to gardening. Basically inspiring people to garden through the internet.
That's good.
And how strange that is and how really fun it is. That's kind of the theme.
That's a good one.
And it's just, to me, it's like this endless irony of I've not gotten over it yet in 3 years of doing YouTube about these topics we're doing it about. It's still just funny to me. So.
No, we really appreciate you guys.
We're like, we are where we wanted to be.
Yeah.
We are waterproof.
Exactly waterproof.
It's good to hit goals.
Yes.
It is.
Good. Yes.
Bye, y'all. See ya. Get some water. Let's go. We had a great time at the Hollers. I feel like it was really
refreshing.
It was really refreshing. Sundays normally are actually our rest day. If you are physically tired, then you should sleep and rest. But if you're discouraged in life, you don't need to sleep and rest. You actually need encouragement.
Yeah.
And encouragement probably is, you're not probably going to get encouragement from sleeping. So today was really encouraging for me. I've been thinking as we've gone through some stressful things or kind of had challenges, I've been thinking, why are we doing what we're doing? Like, because I've never been attracted, and I'm still not attracted to like living in town in a little house with no yard, but it would be a lot easier. So that brings me back to, well, why are we doing this? Like, what keeps us in it? And for me, honestly, I think the things that have risen to the top are lifestyle for kids and the things that we're learning and the skills that we're learning. I don't know, what do you think?
This question's always so hard for me to answer because I actually think I would love living in town. But I don't think you would, and I don't think the kids would. Not after having what they've had out here. It would be so hard for them. And I actually think it would be hard for me now because they would get bored in a fenced-in backyard. You know what I mean? Our kids are never bored, ever. So, I mean, those things. I actually think, though, that I would love living in, like, a neighborhood. Honestly, it's, like, so soul-satisfying. And I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I always have something to give to somebody now that we grow our own food.
Yeah.
And it's usually received with such gratefulness and joy, and that actually gives me great joy.
Yeah.
Like, I always have, like, some good meat that we grew, or herbs, or, you know, homegrown tea, or veggies, something. Just milk, flowers. I love it.
Yeah.
I think that's actually my favorite part.
It is neat for our kids in that we can send our kids out, and our fairly young kids out to play just right in our yard into the creek, and we feel like it's very safe.
It's not just about safety to me, because I think I'm always worried about the kids, but that's a mom for you. For me, it's more just that they can explore. They are always making up things to play and do and pretend, and they're making up, I mean, sometimes they're doing real stuff too, the older they get. And then also, there's real work they can do that they actually get real satisfaction out of, even if they whine about it at first. You know?
What got me started thinking about this was the haulers. Going to the haulers today and just looking at what they're doing and saying, you know, this is a little crazy. This is a little crazy. Like, what is it? Like, why would a person do this? Now, I don't think it's crazy. I admire them so much, and I know some of their reasons and have known, but when you look at what they're doing, when we showed up at their house today, and I haven't watched any of their recent videos, but we showed up their house today and their house is gutted, like to the studs. And I thought, oh my gosh. Now, we got there late and the siding was on early this morning, but they had already taken the siding down. It's like, why would you do a crazy thing like this when you could take your money and put it somewhere else? And y'all heard Ben's answer earlier.
We choose to be a one-income family so that we can provide a certain lifestyle for our kids. And in doing so, we choose a certain level of sacrifice. It's not like you have a big corporate job, but even if you did, I don't even know if you would do it, because you don't want to be gone from the kids all the time.
Yeah.
This level in our lives, at this level financially in our lives, we could not give our kids the same quality of life as far as, obviously as far as love we could, but as far as like one parent that's always home and another parent that's home a lot, quantity and quality, and freedom to roam and things like that, on the income that we have if we lived in town.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, we just couldn't. You could get other jobs, but they would take you away from home. Other jobs that make a lot more money. And
Definitely.
yeah, but they would take you away from home.
I could be travel nursing, I could do healthcare consulting, which is low travel.
You could go back to school, but then you'd never be home. You could go back and get your nurse anesthetist and make a lot more money. But you'd be, and that would be a choice that we could make, to sacrifice a few years, 3 to 5 years of you being in school again.
I've actually realized I would get a huge kick out of being a physician. Like, I've worked with physicians for the past 8 years now, and I've thought two things. One, it's a cool job, and two, I know I can do it.
But the schooling,
after seeing what they do, I'm not saying they're incompetent, I'm just saying they're human.
but you're really smart, you could do it. But the school would be this huge sacrifice.
Yeah, that's the only reason I wouldn't pursue it, because I would literally miss years of these guys' lives. I've seriously thought about it, but then I've said, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to be like a intern dad or resident dad and not see my kids. Not going to do that. It's not worth it.
There's so many layers to the why, but the why for me is our family.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the ultimate why.
Hey guys, it's been another great day in the homestead. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you in an upcoming video really soon. It should be tomorrow, the day after this video publishes. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
You have 2 pairs of shoes in the
Oh, isn't it nice to be home? It's always nice. It's like such a relief when we've been driving.
Yeah, I think you guys sometimes don't realize how far apart we live from everyone. Yeah. So it was a good hour and a half.
Or more.
Yeah, or more.
All right. Home speed.